Born into the gilded fold of the Vanderbilt dynasty, Cornelius Vanderbilt II was not just another affluent heir. He was the cherished grandson of the indomitable Commodore Cornelius Vanderbilt. A titanic figure, the Commodore had sculpted a fortune from steamships and railroads, amassing wealth the likes of which the New World had never seen before. When he breathed his last, the Commodore bequeathed young Cornelius a staggering $5 million. Barely had the ink dried on the will when Cornelius's father passed away, adding another $70 million to his inheritance, a sum so colossal it would rival a modern fortune of approximately $2.4 billion. With the death of the Commodore, a void gaped at the heart of the Vanderbilt family. Into this chasm lunged Cornelius and his brother Willie, both vying for the now vacant throne of family patriarch. Meanwhile, Manhattan had evolved into a playground of the world's ultra-wealthy. The island was festooned with sumptuous mansions that fringed Central Park, a tableau of opulence where each limestone palace sought to eclipse the one before it. Surrounded by this excessive grandeur, Cornelius felt the weight of competition. His residence, once a beacon of prosperity, now paled in comparison to the lavish estates of his neighbors. Determined to cast an indelible mark on Manhattan's landscape, Cornelius acquired every house on his block and promptly had them razed to the ground. He then commissioned renowned architects Richard Morris Hunt and George B. Post to conjure a dwelling so grandiose it would redefine Manhattan luxury. The result was a sprawling, chateau-esque style mansion boasting 6 above-ground floors with an astonishing 137 rooms, not even accounting for its expansive basement. This behemoth of beauty and extravagance swallowed the entire block, save for a garden that adorned its double-height porte-cochere. However, it was the mansion's interior that laid bare Cornelius's idiosyncratic taste. At its heart sprawled a lavish ballroom, the grandeur of which was meant to leave visitors awestruck. Conspicuously absent was a dedicated art gallery, a common feature in the palaces of the era. For Cornelius, the mansion itself was a work of art, a monument to the Vanderbilt legacy, and a testament to his own soaring ambitions. Without further ado, let's enter the mansion below the porte-cochere and begin exploring its lavish interior. Passing through the double doors, we arrive in the terraced entrance hall, where we will begin slowly making our way into the house below the coffered, barrel-vaulted ceiling. Continuing forward, we encounter a spiraling sandstone staircase wrapping its way to the top of the house. The columns, balustrade, and ceilings were all carved from the same sandstone, with figurative relief work, corbels, ribs, and a plethora of other architectural features. Here, large arches emptied into the bellowing ballroom, complete with gilded wall panels and extensive murals. Above its intricately parqueted wood floors, there was standing space for thousands of guests. To one side of the ballroom, the dining room, with its double-height cove ceiling, was decorated with paintings by the greats. And nestled between Monets, above the fireplace, the family was featured in a portrait. Traveling towards the rear of the house, we will find the Moorish smoking room, decorated with antique European tapestries set against walls inlaid with exotic, old-growth wood. We can head across the ballroom, turning to find a corridor with heavily embellished surfaces ornamented by master artisans and stoneworkers. This will lead us towards a set of double art glass doors with gilded ironwork opening into the watercolor room. Here we find a marble arcade feeding into the soaring, barrel-vaulted ceiling, framing portraits and busts of the Vanderbilt family. This connects to Mrs. Vanderbilt's most cherished room, the Grand Salon, finished out in the Louis XV style. Though, for more intimate gatherings, the family could host guests in the adjoining Petite Salon, where the furniture was arranged more conversationally in a smaller but equally grand space. In a world ruled by wealth and social stature, Cornelius Vanderbilt II had reclaimed the spotlight, affirming that the Vanderbilt name would not be overshadowed, neither by competitors nor by ostentatious neighbors. And so, his mansion stood as a colossal tribute to a family and a man who would not be eclipsed. 13 years after taking residence in his magnificent Manhattan mansion, Cornelius was struck by a debilitating stroke. Upon his death, he left a $7 million trust fund for his wife, Alice, ensuring her continued residence at 1 West 57th Street. Alice, stricken with grief, sequestered herself inside the mansion, with her only company being the 37 staff members who lived there with her. She continued to reside there, even as commercial skyscrapers began to crowd the once exclusive Fifth Avenue enclave. Alice clung tenaciously to her grand estate, yet, in 1926, she yielded to financial realities and sold the mansion to a developer who intended to demolish it. In a poignant farewell, she opened the estate to the public a week before demolition, charging a 50-cent admission that she donated to charity. She then salvaged as many architectural elements as she could, allowing anyone to come into the mansion and haul away what they could carry off and save from the wrecking ball. The site was redeveloped into the Bergdorf Goodman department store, and though the mansion was reduced to dust and memories, Alice continued her life in refined solitude, purchasing the George J. Gold House to call her new home. Even in its absence, Cornelius Vanderbilt II's palatial home stood as a monument, a testament even, to a bygone era of unparalleled opulence, ambition, and the indomitable will of a family that refused to be eclipsed, having built the largest mansion ever in Manhattan. Thankfully, we have this handful of photos to remember its grandeur. Did you have a favorite room or architectural element? Let me know down below in the comment section, and while you're there, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exciting episode of This House.